As a homeowner, there's a proven way to build equity in your house. In today's video, I want to share some practical tips that I've learned over the years to help other people, to help you the next time you're looking to buy a house. Let's get started. Let's first start by going over what equity means. Equity is nothing more than the difference between your current mortgage and the current market value of your home. So let's say that your home is worth $300,000, but the mortgage that you owe on it is $200,000. That would mean that the current potential equity in your house is $100,000. So you're probably wondering, well, how do homes actually appreciate in value? And you know what? That's a great question. There's a variety of factors that are going to help a home appreciate more than, say, other homes. And one of those factors is supply and demand. Now, it's important to understand that some homes just naturally have more of a demand than other homes. And as you start to shop around, you'll probably start to notice this. But in my experience, one of the main homes that I found to be the most desirable are main floor living ranch homes. Why? They can accommodate pretty much every market segment of people, whether you're first starting your home buying experience, your middle age, or your retirement, because they offer main floor living with the bedrooms, and typically they offer main floor laundry. Homes that are closer to nearby amenities like parks or medical facilities or good school districts, oftentimes those homes will appreciate slightly more than, say, homes that are 10, 20, 30, or 40 miles away from these places, because they offer jobs and they offer conveniences that people want, and people want to be closer to that. Another thing to keep in mind is renovations. Most people, they just want a turnkey house. They want to be able to walk right into it and live in it. They don't want to do any of that grimy, sweaty work to build that extra equity. They're okay with it being in pristine condition. And these homes will naturally appreciate more than homes that need a lot of work if you were to keep it in its current state. I'm not saying that if you do work to the other ones, they're not going to appreciate just as much. What I'm referring to is if they just stay in the same state, they need renovation compared to ones that don't need renovation. The ones that don't need renovation should slightly appreciate more than the other ones. Again, assuming that the supply and demand is good and they're also in a good location. Now, if you go on Google, it says that the typical home is going to appreciate roughly 3 to 5% per year. Now, I want you to be very, very cautious and weary of this, because that doesn't necessarily mean that if you just buy your house, it's going to naturally appreciate. Now, should homes naturally appreciate? Yes, they should. But different homes are going to appreciate differently than other homes. A single wide is not going to appreciate the same as a stick-built home. It's just not gonna happen. And we don't have enough time to get into it in this video. Just know that every segment of the market, every kind of home is different. What's important to understand about appreciation, it goes back to the things that we just talked about. If the supply and demand is good, if it's in a good location, near amenities, and it's renovated nicely, it should naturally appreciate higher, okay? So 3 to 5% is kind of that baseline, but depending on what happens in the economy, we've seen some oddballs. During COVID, there were some areas where homes were appreciating 100% and even more. One of the areas that I'm close to, which is Grand Rapids, Michigan, that area actually had appreciated over 300%, which is absolutely absurd. So 3 to 5% is a pretty steady baseline that us as consumers can naturally gravitate towards, but it's not 100% guaranteed. If you made it this far in the video, be sure to drop me a comment, like, and as always, subscribe. I really want to get this information out to more people so I can continue to educate people on some knowledge that I've learned over the years to really help you when it comes time to buying your first house. Okay, so now let's talk about, if I were a first-time home buyer doing it all over again, what are the kind of homes that I would be targeting? And then this is very, very important. And I really hope that you get some good knowledge out of this, because if you apply this correctly, I really think it's going to help you out. But we need to first start off with having the right mindset. The right mindset is going to set you up for success. Again, if you go on Google and do some research, you'll find out that statistically proven that most people, especially when they buy their first home, move in the first 5 to 7 years. That should raise some questions as to why. Most people don't have their dream job yet. Maybe they're not settled down. Maybe they wanted a family, they don't have one yet. There's all these variable factors that come into play, but when you just start off, you're just, hey, just get me in a house. I'm ready to get out of my mom and dad's house. I want to go out and start living life, so they'll just gravitate and they'll buy something, okay? And that's kind of how most people, or a lot of people, they start in life. And they don't end there. They eventually move on, obviously. So if we have the right mindset and we understand this going in that most people move, right, we can now kind of help position ourselves for success when it comes time to buying our first house. So let's get into this. So the question is there really a sweet spot in real estate when it comes time to buying your first home where you can maximize on equity? And I believe there is. Now, every market's different. So what I encourage you to do is speak to a local expert, a local real estate agent in your area, and I'm sure it's going to be different than what it is in my market. But what I've seen over the years is if you can find a home that has a good layout, meaning no bathroom or fireplace right in the middle of your house, or a bathroom in your kitchen, so it's got a good layout, at least 1,200 square feet with a minimum of 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. So what are we gonna do with this? If we have at least 1,200 square feet with 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, there's a good chance that we can add an additional bedroom or a bathroom in that wasted space within that good layout without building an addition. And by doing so, it's really going to increase the value of that home. And the reason is because a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom home is only going to suit a very small market of people. But when you're able to add a bedroom and bathroom, now you can target a larger market of people. And especially if we can accommodate main floor living with laundry in the master bedroom, now we've hit the sweet spot. So now that you're equipped, dangerous, and ready to buy your first home intelligently with the right mindset, it's your turn. Go ahead, hit that like button, and be sure to subscribe because I really want this information to get out to more people that may not be equipped with this knowledge yet. If you haven't experienced it by now, whenever you apply for a mortgage, there's a good chance you're gonna start to get spammed with a whole bunch of different lenders. If you wanna learn how to stop it, check out this video right here. It'll really help you out. Until next time, thanks so much for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care.